I'm making a list, checking it twice, figuring out who's naughty and nice.
5 more days total.
Happy Christmas, Chrysler.
Miss. This is the list. It's rain and aluminum. Hallelujah. Please subscribe so we can have a heated shot.
Also, hello to all our new subscribers from TikTok.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Whoever said I wasn't a good guesstimator is an idiot. Okay guys, here's our list what we gotta get done today. Cut body on passenger side, I'd say passenger side. Make frame mounts for engine, I didn't write that. Cut collector and rotate 90 degrees, driver side. Cut trans tunnel a little more. Cut a little more off upper, no, that says control arm mounts. Pull up rear hatch seat thing. Jump out a window and do snow angels. That is all.
Wet.
What's wet? Yeah, that's it comes out of that little guy right there.
Oh, okay. Why?
It's a sensor for the transmission. I don't know. You want to ask it? Why don't you ask it? Get close to it and ask it.
Why are you wet?
Okay, so basically, we kind of figured out on our test fitting that body mount right there, that guy right there, you can see where it's leaning up against it. That's not going to work for our exhaust setup that we want to do. So what we have to do is we have to cut that, which is fine. Here's another body mount, another like foot that way. It's not hurting anything. It's not, you know, structurally. The structural integrity is just fine. So structural integrity is fine. Now we might do the same thing over here, just because that'll make our lives a little bit easier. And we're also gonna take a grinder and we're gonna get that. We're not gonna go far enough in where we see the gears, but we're gonna shave it down so it's a little bit more per se flat. And then we're gonna do a little bit of shaving right here too, so because we're just hitting everything with that guy. Other than the motor mounts that I gotta weld in from. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld a plate basically that's right here, and it's gonna come. It's just gonna sit right here. It's gonna be at an upper angle. Same with right here. Do the same exact thing. I gotta cut that guy off, get rid of that old fuel line. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna measure up this guy on this side as well. We're gonna make sure it's square across. I'm gonna put a plate from boom to bango right there, and then that's where the engine's gonna cradle itself in and will not be able to move from, because we like trapping things. We're also gonna take a little bit more off these guys. I don't like to, but we're gonna have to on both sides so we can actually get at our holy holes, particularly on the car. That's it. Now for the engine, I got to do a tough job, and I gotta cut this sucker as straight as I can. And I gotta rotate that collector. I gotta pretty much rotate it 45 to 90 degrees around. And I need these, the titties. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not good. These eyelets, I need those to turn, and I need this guy to be up here and that guy to be down there. So then we won't be hitting anything down there anymore, and we'll be fantastic for clearance. Other than that, we have to trim this guy a little bit more. We also need to make sure that that is for sure anchored in right. We got one bolt that needs to be put in a little bit farther. And then we can also put this exhaust manifold, because once we got that eyelet turned around, we'll be yippee skippy. Process of events here. Alex is gonna do all the modifications and cutting inside the chamber, the wagon chamber. And I'm gonna do all of the fabricational work. Start to do what kind of degree we need to set the engine at. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. It's rain and aluminum. Hallelujah.
I've done basically all my job of cutting all that stuff. Sean, how you doing?
I'm almost there.
I'm still cutting up pieces and fabricating the mounts. And then we should be on our way to putting this thing back in.
Sick. Whack. Well, that did not take anywhere near as long as I thought it was going to. Ow! Now it's time to be repetitive again and put it back in. Update! Update! Update!
Oh.
Update time. This is a 100% different day than you saw us last time. Mostly because I had some welding molten metal fall inside my ear and hurt my ear because this car hates me.
And it was Christmas.
Anyway. So what we did is these are all welded in place. I don't know if we got to it. I can move the whole spring. These are welded in place. I put a triangle little mount to the frame on the other side, so now we can just now we can mount a diesel engine on there. It'll be fine. But I think a Coyote will be just all right. We are in pretty decent shape right now. We're waiting for another certain historian John to get done with his food, so we can shove her in and then bolt her down, and then we can start moving backwards and hit up that their transmission mount that's sitting over there.
Probably put her on the lift.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll probably run into every single piece of metal on the floor that Alex has cut off since we've started this. It's all right.
Hey, guess what?
Well,
Broom right there.
Gotta wipe up the trash.
I can see your butt crack.
No, you can't. Because I tucked in my shirt, bitch.
oh no, I hope it don't fall. My thing's not going in the fire. Wow, that couldn't be more centered if you look down that oil pan right at the center section. Whoa!
Yeah.
Look at that. Whoever said I wasn't a good guesstimator is an idiot. So, the main motor mounts are accomplished. What we're figuring out right now is going to be our transmission mount, and it's already welded up. You guys already saw me make it in the second part of this, and I kind of did some hillbilly rigging, and I got the transmission held up right now with a 2x4 and a couple screws. But that's not where it's going to go. That's a little bit too angled per se, and we're going to jack it up a little bit more with the jack and probably a 4x4, and we'll get it kind of where we want it, and then we'll put this mount on it, see where it goes, where it wants to go, and then I'm going to almost guarantee I'll probably cut this. It looks about like that was the mount in its day. If you just go right there, probably
That's
cut.
about equal.
It's almost there. If it was a straight across mount, it'd be perfect. I think I even used the wrong mount. We had two transmission mounts laying around. I didn't know which one it was. That's all there is to that.
Make anything work.
Make anything work, just like Alex just said. So we're gonna see where it ends up and where it wants to be. Then we'll give you guys a quick update and see where we have this transmission mount mounted. Whose idea was it to do the last one? That guy was dumb. Anyway, this is transmission mount 2.0. Mostly because we couldn't really find rubber isolators to make this work the way I wanted to do it. And this is actually such a better design than the last one. This one actually incorporates a rubber insulator right up at the transmission rather than on the two cradles. So this is leaps and bounds better than what we had. For all you Coyote swap guys, most of you guys are gonna probably do them in a Fox body or even an SN95 or stuff like that. They sell kits for that, so buy the kit. It's worth the time and worth the effort. But for us, obviously, they don't sell a kit for a 1962 Ford Wagon. So obviously, it gets down to us having to make things with what we have and what's available. So this was the original mount back in the day. So obviously, I used that at first, and it didn't work the way I made it first. So this is why we went to this. Anyway, this is just 1/8 inch. Well, I think that's actually 3/16 steel with an 1/8 inch plate, and then this is a small block Chevy Turbo 350 mount from any local parts stores, any O'Reilly's, any Advance. They carry them on their shelves because they're just pretty much upgrades for your Camaros and stuff like that on those mounts. Basically, they're readily available. This one was $37, and basically that's cheaper and cheap. So obviously I bought it and incorporated it, and it's gonna work about as good as any specialized mount would, because I think the company was Stiffners or something like that is the company that I was looking at, and they only had like a little tiny, I don't know, it was cheesy metal, and then it came down to like one little single hole right here, and then it goes to your your bars and stuff. And I didn't think that I wasn't gonna wait, and I wasn't gonna even think about that one because it was just junk. This one will be pretty decent for us. I think it will work great right when I get it all finished up, as is almost right now. This is what we came up with for our Coyote transmission mount.
While Sean is doing all this stuff on the trans mount, I'm basically going to get all the wiring and spread it out from front to back so it's a little bit easier, and then we can start mapping out that. After the trans mount, that's basically, we're going to hook up wiring and then do cooling and
wiring, cooling, and then we'll start patching the floor back in, and then we'll measure it up, and once its full weight is down on it, and measure up for a drive shaft, because I have no clue what we're going to do for that.
Double check everything's tightened and stuff.
You can't see with your eyes.
Welcome to Tech Tip Sundays. Today we have a special guest, transmission mount, and basically the tech tip is, if you have no idea where your holes are at or where they need to be, basically just take some spray paint, spray a load of it on there, and then press it against the surface. Bingo, you got your holes, you got everything you need to make the holes you need to line up perfect. We're done. It's all in, boys. So, oh yeah. Oh no, it's just sitting on the screws.
Open her up. What you got inside there, bud?
I don't know what it is.
Oh. Wow, it's a yoke.
It's a Coyote 5.4. Well, is it possible to put a Coyote 5.0 in a 62 country sedan or 62 Ford Galaxy? Yes, it is possible. This is the end of one of our episodes. I don't know what episode it is, but
I think it's 3.
This is the end of 3. So really what we have here is where it's going to be sitting for hopefully the rest of its existence. I don't really like it, but it's really as far down as we could go, or else we're hitting headers and we can't get to anything on the side. And for the angle's not that bad. We checked out Alex's car, well at least he checked it out. He said his engine's at a little bit of an angle, and if I remember right, my 2019 engine was a little angle too. So the angle's normal, and we kind of need the angle because right now we're kind of at a point directly at the third member of the rear end, which is where exactly we need to be at. What we accomplished this episode, well, we got in the car.
A lot.
We got a lot done, and this was the main thing that we need to get done to really start to turn loose a finished product in the end. Episode 4 comes along, you're gonna see Alex and I run some wiring. We're gonna run some coolant lines. We're gonna
Finish trans mount.
finish the trans mount because I need more steel. And I want to do it a different way, another different way, so that way we can pull out the automatic if it goes to poop, or we can just pull everything out easier if we need to. Other than that, part 4 will also bring hopefully us firing it up again in the new and improved body. Probably showing you guys how to measure up a drive shaft and see what we're going to do there. Other than that, we'll bleed the brakes and hopefully go for the first test run on first week of February. I'm calling it. And we'll be on the road doing a gnarly burnout, or be chasing a rod through the sky.